You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. We have got a lot to talk about on this podcast, so don't miss a minute of it. Make sure you listen to every second. We have a lot we are going to cover. There's some huge Trump news, huge DeSantis news, and a whole bunch more. Huge news on Tucker. Things are just going very well right now. We're going to talk about all of it. And right before we started the podcast, Kathy, you'd brought up that joke, which was very funny, that President Trump made the other day about John McCain. And he said, John McCain, I know this is a bit of a paraphrase. This isn't the exact line of President Trump's, but President Trump said, John McCain's funeral was like the war in Vietnam. It went on forever.
That's right.
Right? And it
was ridiculous.
I was thinking about that the other day when President Trump said that, when he said, I like people that don't get captured. And then he made this joke about the funerals, which is true. They had endless funerals for John McCain. And
John McCain must have been pissed when Trump said that.
Remember, he went and voted down on that thing.
That's
when
right.
He was like, this is what I think happened. When President Trump was really at the point in the first campaign, he made that joke about McCain. I like people that don't get captured in the first campaign.
Yeah.
And by the time he made that joke, he was done. It was going in a very good direction. And I think when President Trump got to that level, he started to get all kinds of inside information on a lot of people, including John McCain. And I think President Trump picked up some information that John McCain's stay in the Hanoi Hilton isn't exactly what we've been told it was. And I think that's what he was alluding to. And John McCain's out of control, insane, insecure rage about it shows that there's something to that.
Well, I'm going to take it a step further. Trump, over the years before he even got into politics, knew everybody. He lived in New York. He was very famous, did The Apprentice, knew all the politicians. I mean, Hillary Clinton went to his wedding, for God's sakes. He donated to everybody's campaign and all this stuff. I think he knows a lot about a lot of people that he doesn't tell. And I think that says a lot about him as a person, because I think he knows a lot of dirt on a lot of people in politics and Hollywood that would probably shock everybody. And so I think he's known this stuff before that.
Maybe.
And he just is a gentleman and doesn't come out. I mean, I'm sure he could give a speech and give dirty details on a lot of these people that he's heard over the years from just being at parties and in that circle. And, when you're a big donor, you get invited to a lot of things, and people talk, they drink, and they chit chat and spill their guts. And I'm sure he's heard a lot of stuff about people, and all the things that have been said about him by these losers in Washington, all the mud they have been slinging. He really keeps a lot of probably what he knows to himself.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a nice guy. He probably knows a lot of things about people in Washington that they would definitely not want you to know. And I'm sure John McCain is one of the people who's known things
one
about.
of those is Ron DeSantis. And if Ron does, and we're going to talk about him in a few minutes, but if Ron DeSantis keeps going down this path that he's going down, we're going to learn a lot of things about DeSantis, I bet you, that we don't know that Trump knows. Now, Don Jr., this is amazing. Let me read this article. It's in the Daily Mail.
Yeah, this just came out today.
Just dropped today. Donald Trump Jr. tore into Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for remaining silent on Fox News' firing of Tucker Carlson, accusing him, DeSantis, of being afraid to cross Paul Ryan, who, of course, is on the board of directors at Fox News. Don Jr. Said this: "It's been almost a week since Fox News fired Tucker Carlson, and Ron DeSantis still hasn't found the courage to say a word about it. Wonder why," Trump Jr. wrote on Twitter. "We already know he flip-flopped on Ukraine because of his donors, so I guess it's unsurprising that he's afraid to cross Paul Ryan and Fox." And, you know, this is the thing. Fox has lost half of their viewers. It's going to get worse. Because the reason it's going to get worse is because all of us that have been Fox free for a week tomorrow, Monday it'll be a week, Although we tuned in the first night to see who was filling in, and it was Kilmeade. I know a lot of you guys did. But Monday night was the last time we had Fox News on any of our televisions, and I know the same is true for a lot of you. And what's happening is we're talking about it. When I say we, I don't mean just me and Kathy. All of you who are Fox free are talking about it all the time, and other people are doing it. Kathy, your stepmother was over at the house the other day, and she's retired and not really too into the internet, I didn't think, because of her age. And she had the Fox Nation app, and she unsubscribed and deleted the Fox Nation app, and she's going without Fox too.
She's very involved with the local Republican Party in Maga Martin County.
Yeah.
She volunteers at the polls, and she was going to a picnic the other day with the local Republican group. She's definitely MAGA, and a lot of Trump people there. And yeah, I didn't even ask her. She came over to take Emily to lunch, and she said I deleted the app, and I said, yeah, we did too, and so did a couple other my friends that I talked to.
Yeah. And
so let us know in the comments if you deleted the app too.
And the thing about it is, I do not watch a lot of television news. Now, when I do, I watch Newsmax. Although this morning, I was doing some work around the house, and I had the Newsmax app, and I had Greg Kelly's show on from Friday.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with him.
And it was very good too, of course. But Fox News has lost half their audience. The Newsmax audience has grown 200% in the last week. And it's going to grow because we're all talking about it, and the people we know are going to start to stop watching. And they're having Lawrence Jones come in and fill in now. They're going to have a bunch of rotating hosts for that time slot.
He's horrible. I'm sorry.
But all the talk that's coming out is Lawrence Jones is the front runner. And the thing about Lawrence Jones, he's not smart.
He's inarticulate.
He's inarticulate. He's not smart. He asks the obvious.
I think they're going to pick him.
And and I've talked about this for the last year or two. Anytime he comes on set, they make a big, Lawrence Jones. Oh, what's Lawrence? They talk to him like he's a child. It's really racist the way they talk about towards Lawrence. Lawrence Jones. What do you think? It's so bizarre. And if they give that to him, that's insane. But there's a couple things going on with Fox. Okay, one is the obvious, right? There was a big exodus before. People went back. They went back because of Tucker. That's not happening this time. People are burned. Fool me once, shame on you. You know that. People are burned, and we're not going back to Fox. And that's a good thing. But they still don't realize it. And they're going to pull some stunts. Like, this pains me, okay, to say this. But tonight, because this is Sunday, right? If you're listening live, tonight, part 2 of President Trump's interview with Mark Levin is on.
Right.
And I was live streaming on YouTube yesterday from the Fort Lauderdale Beach, and people were talking about it. I said, hey, listen, you can't watch it, even though President Trump is on. I said, first off,
you're not going to watch it?
No, I'm not going to watch President Trump on Mark Levin tonight. Not only that, I said, you can't watch it, and I'll tell you why you can't watch it. But part 1 had all the good stuff. Part 2 was like all the stuff that they cut out that they didn't air in part 1. That's just double dipping. I promise you, the good stuff was on part 1. The second part, it's like when Tucker interviewed Elon Musk, it was 2 nights. The first night was gangbusters. The second night was like all the outtakes. If you go back to Fox and watch it just once for 1 hour, like tonight with Levin, because President Trump is on, when you television is a habit medium, okay? When you go back, it's like a drug addict. A drug addict that they go through rehab and they're clean, and say they're hooked on some hardcore drugs, heroin, crack,
like Hunter Biden,
and then they give that up.
Hookers.
Yeah, they give that up, and then they slip and have a little weed, or maybe they snort some cocaine, which is really bad, but it's not as bad as crack. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, they're hooked again. You go back to Fox for just 1 hour, then next thing you know, it'll be, tomorrow night they're doing. You can't do it. And
in fact, last week, because I always like to watch Outnumbered, even though I cannot stand Emily Campagno, whatever you say her name. She talks like a robot. I can't stand her with her big, huge biceps.
Well, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
But I like Kayleigh McEnany. And I put it on the other day, and Brian got very mad at me. And he's like, turn that off right now. So I turned it off. I forgot. And other than that small
because it was a habit. You turn it on
it's
at
a
noon.
habit.
You turn it on at noon.
Small little slip, we really have
No,
to
not
not
we,
watch
you.
me, right?
Don't throw me in with
other
that.
than that small slip,
But
we have not had it on.
Yeah.
Literally all week.
Now I didn't get mad like Steven Crowder with his wife. I must tell you on the video camera with Steven Crowder.
Not doing my.
But
I want to talk about that too.
But no, I said no, get that off. You cannot go back to Fox even for President Trump. Okay, you can't do it tonight.
But people will.
And I don't think so. I think the ratings for Mark Levin with President Trump will be the lowest rated President Trump interview in the history of Fox.
Here's what I hope happens. And there's now stories out that Newsmax is really going after Tucker. I don't know about his contract or how that's going to work.
Well, he still works for Fox. He hasn't been fired
yet. He's got
yet.
his lawyers working on that and trying to get him out of that. And maybe he will be successful. But Newsmax wants him bad, and they're willing to give him pretty much whatever he wants. Now, obviously, they can't pay him $10 million a year or whatever, but I think they're going to – the rumor is that they're offering him basically programming control, which would be fine. I would love to see him bring in Megyn Kelly. The only thing is he has to keep Greg Kelly and Rob Schmidt. He's got to keep those two guys. They're too good. Everybody else can go. But they're offering to give him creative control, programming control of the network, which is amazing, or at least primetime control over what's his lead in and what's the lead out. If they had Rob Schmidt, Tucker, and Greg Kelly, those three in prime time, that'd be a slam dunk. And then bring in Megyn Kelly, too. They could bring her anyway. So they're offering him that. I think Chris Ruddy, because hiring Tucker could catapult that network to the stratosphere. And they know it. They know the money they can make, and their viewership has already doubled. I think if they bring him on, I think they're going to offer him ownership of the company, a part of ownership of that. I think they're going to offer him whatever the hell he wants, and I don't blame them. They should, because this is an opportunity that Newsmax needs to take advantage of, and I'm glad that they are. They need to bring him on, whatever it takes, because hiring Tucker they'll leave Fox in the dust. And they'll get a lot of money very quickly, and they'll get nicer sets, nicer graphics, and he'll bring a whole team of people. Yeah. And he'll turn that. He's got to get rid of Eric Bolling. He's horrible.
Well, Eric Bolling, it's Eric Bolling's terrible alone. He's good on a panel show, but
he's been trashing Tucker.
But this thing about Tucker, Fox News is on a lot more cable outlets than Newsmax. But
that could change.
But see, Newsmax, they're big on YouTube. They live stream constantly, 24 hours a day on YouTube, but they also have an app where you get their live stream. It's in high definition. It's free. And also all their programming is archived up there, with the app, which really is free. And the way things are moving, that's kind of like the future of television. And I know
OAN offered him a job. He's never
no. That's
not going to happen. But Newsmax is possible.
But Newsmax would be great. The only problem is he's got a non-compete. He's still working for Fox. They haven't fired him yet, and they're trying to keep him off the air until after the election with the non-compete because they don't want to have to compete with him.
But his lawyers might be able to get him out of that.
Who knows? I don't know. But things are the time is now. But the thing about this story with DeSantis, I want to get back to what we started about, where Don Jr. says he's afraid of Paul Ryan.
Yeah, he is.
And the state legislature, at the end of the week, they passed the law. DeSantis has not yet signed it, although he may have signed it by the time you're listening to this, okay? Because it's imminent. They passed the law changing Florida law. In Florida, you can't run for president and be governor at the same time. You have to resign. And currently that's the law, but they voted to change the law in the state legislature, and DeSantis has to sign it.
I thought he signed it Friday.
No, he hasn't signed it yet. They've sent it to his desk to sign, but he'll sign it. Now, here's the thing. When Ron DeSantis signs this bill, Ron DeSantis is signing a document that will, in effect, permanently bar him from winning any election ever. This is not going to be something that is ever forgiven. This is the thing. And when we get back from the break, I'm going to get into some details about this. This is some liberal wrote an article, some Trump haters wrote an article about our loyalty to Trump. But here's the thing they don't understand. President Trump is not just some candidate running, okay? The MAGA movement is a civil rights movement. I talk about this a lot. The MAGA movement is a civil rights movement of the American people taking back their country from the deep state, the bureaucracy, the donors, China, and these other people that have bought off our politicians. And when you're I got to really hold myself back when I talk about Ron DeSantis. I call him a snake, but I really mean AH. I mean, that's just what he is. I mean, he's a lying AH, okay? And I don't think anybody listening to this could make a case that he's not that. He lied to us, and as soon as he got reelected, he betrayed us. Yeah. And he was fake MAGA. We had that clip that we uncovered when this first happened of him talking, I can see the sea levels rising around Florida before Trump endorsed him. And that's probably why he was losing before. Yeah. So when he signs this bill into law, watch President Trump go full throttle on him.
Even DeSantis said that endorsing him was not the smartest thing for Trump to do.
Yeah, he was telling him. He was telling him.
So even he thought it was crazy.
But Ron DeSantis is going to sign that bill into law this week.
He will.
And
they say he's going to announce mid-May.
The very fact that he is as unpopular as he is in the state of Florida, okay, and he's not aware of it because he's obviously not aware of it. It's not like he doesn't care. He is unaware of it.
He thinks
I don't know how they shield him, but
well, he's listening to Jeb Bush.
They have somehow shielded his thoughts from realizing how unpopular he is. That alone shows that he's mentally unfit to run anything. And God help us here in Florida. At some point, he's going to realize how unpopular he is, and I'm worried about how he's going to take this out on the people of Florida. I can see Ron DeSantis. He's into revenge. Look at how he's handling Disney now, right? Because he lost to them. True. Ron DeSantis, when he's forced out of the race or realizes that he's a loser and unpopular, he very well could go on a move to punish us here in Florida. He could.
He could. That would be a huge mistake.
He's into revenge.
Well, yeah, we know that for sure.
Yeah. Now, listen, guys, Mother's Day is right around the corner. There is no better gift than, well, any of the great items at MyPillow.com. And right now at MyPillow.com, with our promo code Kane, there are just so many great specials. And you could take advantage of all of them, not just the ones I highlight. But I wanted to talk, though, for Mother's Day. And by the way, Father's Day is 1 month after Mother's Day. So you can start your Father's Day shopping. You know, we had a special the other day on the slippers. They sold out. Remember, I talked about that for about 2 days.
Yeah.
And they sold out.
Shoot, I was going to get a pair for myself.
You didn't order them?
No, I forgot.
They're not, Kathy, not only is the special over, they're out of stock on the slippers.
Well, hopefully they'll come back soon.
So, oh my goodness. I was going to get those for you for Mother's Day. And then when I was doing the commercial the other day, you said you were going to order them.
Yeah. Well, so I guess I'll have to wait till they come back in stock.
Oh, well, okay.
But there are other things you can get. So you can't get those. They have nice robes.
Well, so when I tell you about these specials, and I say they're for a limited time, they really are, because these specials are so good, they run out of inventory. The slippers, you can't get any of them right now, Kathy. None of them. They're all out. Now, the MyPillow bathrobes are great for Mother's Day and Father's Day. They come in many different styles for men and women and a bunch of colors. And they have two different styles. They have a heavy robe, which is the one we have, and they also have a lighter robe. And they're just $59.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout. Just $59.98 with our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at MyPillow.com. But like I said, you could take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane, not just the ones I highlight. But you might want to do your Father's Day shopping too, because
good idea.
Those slippers, you missed out on them, Kathy. And I was hoping to get a pair for Father's Day, but they're completely gone. They don't have this. It's not just the specials over; they're out of the slippers. Okay, I just checked again. So the bathrobe is a great Mother's Day and Father's Day gift, just $59.98. With
we have a lot of things you could get for Mother's Day for your mom.
And Father's
Day.
A lot
of great things.
Yeah. And like I said, Father's Day is 1 month after Mother's Day, so it's a good time just to get both out of the way right now. And it's also a wonderful way for you to support the program and all the content. You know, when you use our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at MyPillow.com, of course, you're supporting the podcast here, you're supporting the Steve Kane radio show, and you're also supporting my YouTube channel. So promo code Kane, Kane. Are you tired of feeling stuck in a job with no potential for growth? Do you dream of earning more money and providing a better life for yourself and your family? If so, listen close. Find the solution you've been waiting for at qr1.be/8w3r. There you will find a revolutionary opportunity to earn extra income and achieve financial freedom. With a huge compensation plan and life-changing products, this opportunity offers 6 amazing ways that you can earn lots of money. Imagine living the life you've always dreamed of, traveling the world, buying that dream car, and providing for your family without worrying about finances. And here's the best part. There's no monthly membership fee, and you don't have to purchase products to participate. All the products are made right here in the USA with the purest and healthiest ingredients, offering unmatched quality at prices up to 75% off retail price. Don't wait any longer to change your life. Visit qr1.be/8w3r. That's qr1.be/8w3r and learn about this incredible opportunity to start making the money that you deserve. This is your chance to break free from the daily grind and achieve financial freedom. qr1.be/8w3r. qr1.be/8w3r. Robert Allen Miltenberg invites you to time travel with him to the Roman future. His new novella, available at Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. It's the golden age of Rome, a time of peace and prosperity. And Scadius Commodius Lavatorius is its greatest scientist. But for all he's achieved, one question haunts him. Will Rome survive the test of time? There's only one way to find out. Come along on this cosmic romp of an adventure. See if you can read the signs any better than a brilliant scientist can. Prediction, science fiction, allegory, national glory. This is a satire at its most gladiatorial. Center stage in the Circus Maximus of your mind. A story of time machines and timeless politics, strange Roman cuisine and gambling parlor tricks, spinning gold and crossing the river Styx. That's the Roman future. Available on Kindle and paperback. Go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble now and visit The Roman Future by Robert Allen Miltenberg today. Do you ever feel like you've lost your way? Like you're adrift and you just can't find your bearings? Let Annie Harrison's journey inspire you. In Beyond the Sea, Annie's Journey into the Extraordinary, from author Nina Perti, Annie set sail on her grandfather's luxurious and magnificent yacht to travel the world and restore her sense of direction. She meets 2 charming suitors, a Spanish matador and a Moroccan businessman. Her talent for blending architectural style with history is only enhanced by the fascinating places she visits. But when Annie's father reappears after missing for 2 years and the British Secret Service gets involved, she realizes she may be in over her head. With thrilling plot twist and a cast of memorable characters, Beyond the Sea is a captivating novel that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Order your copy of Beyond the Sea, Annie's Journey into the Extraordinary, from author Nina Perti. Available right now on Amazon, iTunes, and Google Play. This book is perfect for book clubs. Order your copy right now. Are you looking for beautifully designed and practical templates for your everyday needs? Introducing Alpha Cars, the new digital store on Etsy that has everything you need. Whether you're looking for meal planners, social media planners, or daily gratitude journals, Alpha Cars has got you covered. They also have a wide range of templates for all your business needs, including resume templates, invoice templates, and business card templates. But that's not all. You can find amazing designs for anniversary cards, good morning cards, romantic anniversary cards, and so much more. So head over to Alpha Cars on Etsy and discover their stunning collection of templates. Don't settle for boring, generic designs. Let Alpha Cars help you make a lasting impression. Shop right now at etsy.com/shop/alphacars. etsy.com/shop/alphacars.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. There's an article in The Hill that I wanted to read to you guys, and it's in The Hill today, and the headline is, Why GOP voters are so loyal to Trump. Okay, so let me read through this, and we'll talk about it as we go, okay? Republican primary voters are showing no signs of easing their support for President Trump as their 2024 GOP presidential candidate. Trump's lead in the presumptive field of GOP presidential candidates has widened in most pollings, even as he finds himself in high-profile legal battles and as the party grapples with a worse-than-expected midterm election. Well, we did very well in the midterms. In fact, we would have done better if Fox would have carried the rallies, but we won't have to worry about that anymore.
Did you see the poll last week where they had Trump at 62 and DeSantis like at 16%?
Yeah, I mean, it's insane.
The gap is so big.
Though this is the article in The Hill, back to that. Though the presidential debates and primaries are still months away, pollsters and even some anti-Trump Republicans point to the former president's recent indictment and no-holds-barred approach to the presumptive GOP rivals as being among the reasons some in the party are still leaning towards Trump. Donald Trump has conditioned a pretty serious majority of the Republican base to believe that any legal critique of him, any external charge made against him is invalid and a product of the deep state or a conspiracy of some kind to take him away from Republican voters, says Rick Wilson, who's the co-founder of the Lincoln Project. He's right. All of these attacks on him is a conspiracy against him by the uniparty and the deep state. Absolutely. Right. So then they go, so why did you see Trump's numbers go up after Mar-a-Lago was raided by the FBI? Why did you see his numbers go up?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
After he was indicted in New York, that's because at the base, it is an inversion of the prior known political behavior, which is to say people don't like criminals, he added. And yet, when you accuse Donald Trump of being a criminal, even with all the evidence in the world, their response is, no, he's not. You're the one who's doing this. Yes,
well, hold on. All the evidence in the world. Meanwhile, has he been convicted of anything?
It's all manufactured.
He has been in front. He's been impeached twice.
Nothing wrong.
He has been accused. He's been going to court. He's been accused of all these things. They say there's all this evidence, yet there's no conviction of anything. He wasn't removed from office.
He did nothing wrong.
It's ridiculous.
He's broken no laws. These are trumped-up charges, and it is the deep state against him and the bureaucracy and the uniparty and China and everybody else, and we all know it, and everybody knows it. So the Lincoln Project, they're actually, what they're doing here is they're saying what it is. They just don't realize it. But do they
actually believe? Do they delude themselves, or do they really think there's no conspiracy against him?
No, they are part of the conspiracy. Exactly. So they're well aware.
Don't see it, or are they well aware and just
Of course,
lying?
They're well aware. They're part of it. Though an indictment would ordinarily be considered politically damning for any presidential candidate, polling suggests it hasn't harmed Trump, and it may have even helped him. Polling released by National Public Radio, PBS NewsHour, and the Marist this week found that 63% of Republicans said they wanted Trump to be president again, even if he was found guilty of a crime. I'm surprised it's so low.
Even Bill Maher, well, then it's not. Even Bill Maher, when this happened, said it's going to make Trump even more popular. Even he can see it.
Yeah.
And he hates Trump.
Exactly.
I mean, is this guy stupid?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently so.
Some Republicans say Trump is enjoying a lead in the polls, thanks to his approach to his primary rivals, particularly the presumptive White House contender, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. A Louisiana-based pollster who typically works with Republicans told The Hill that the fighting back I found is what attracts Republican voters to Trump.
Absolutely.
While only a handful of Republicans have entered the 2024 race, Trump has taken steps to define the field early on. Much of the former president's attention has been geared towards DeSantis, who is generally seen as the chief rival, though he hasn't officially entered the race yet. If you go back to 2016, when he had all the 12 opponents, 11 opponents, he always focuses in on who's the front runner against him at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he takes them down, he moves on to the number two.
And there's nobody else other than DeSantis who could, I don't think he's even going to come close. But the other people, not even worth mentioning. Nikki Haley and Asa Hutchinson.
Oh,
I mean, they're not going to win. They're like at 2%, or something. So DeSantis really believes, and I know this is Jeb Bush telling him. Remember the turtle and the rabbit, the hare, and he thought he was going to win. He is telling him, because I've heard many people on the DeSantis team say this, that once you get into the race officially, those poll numbers will change. I don't think so. I don't know why they think that's going to make a difference. Everybody knows the guy's going to run. He's changing the law in Florida so he can run, but the polls are still actually more in Trump's favor. So I don't think him officially running is going to do a damn thing.
No, and DeSantis,
he's humiliating himself.
DeSantis did something over the weekend that hasn't really hit the news yet. but it will. He was asked about running again and Trump again, and he answered, and he did the bobblehead look again.
Yeah, he's really awkward.
And I think what he's doing with that is he's trying to make the bobblehead like a thing, like his thing.
Oh, yeah, like don't deny, embrace.
It's not going to work.
No, it's not.
Bobblehead Ron is here to stay.
Well, people have mannerisms that they just can't, like Kamala with the cackle.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't control it. That's who they are. It's in their DNA.
Yeah.
And DeSantis when he gets on camera or gets not always, but sometimes when he gets like confronted with something, he's like a deer in the headlights.
Oh, yes.
Kind of thing. And he kind of freezes and gets very awkward. I've noticed, like Kamala does with her stupid laughing. She makes no sense, by the way, when she talks. She said something last week about the present and the moment. I mean, she just rambles on. She's so stupid.
Yeah.
DeSantis is not stupid, but I think he's deluded. And by the way, his wife needs a new hairdo and new clothes because she looks like a woman out of the 50s.
DeSantis' wife?
Yes. I don't know who her stylist is, but she needs a new hairdo. And she reminds me of, she's got like a 60s hairdo and her clothes are atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
She just looks old fashioned.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, I would
She
agree.
needs a makeover.
I would agree.
Please. But she is really pushing him. Like Melania always looks classic, stylish, always. I've never seen her look bad. And she looks like a modern woman.
Mm-hmm.
Casey DeSantis looks like a housewife out of Mad Men.
Mm-hmm.
But she needs a makeover. But anyway, she is really, I think, I could be wrong, but the way she dresses and acts, I think she just sees that White House like Jill Biden and is salivating.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them are. And they can't control themselves or be a little patient. And I think he's destroying his career.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
in his future. I'm sorry.
This is an amazing story that I don't think is going to get too much play. I'm sure it will on Newsmax, but if I were watching Fox, which I'm not, I imagine this one's not going to be on there. There was a guy, Will Wilkerson, and he was an executive vice president at Truth Social and became I guess they call him a whistleblower, but...
Oh, yeah, I read this.
Okay, Will Wilkerson, he was fired by Truth Social, right? He was executive VP of Truth Social. He gave 150,000 emails and documents to federal and state investigators. And now he's been found working at a Starbucks in North Carolina for $16
Why did they
an
need
hour.
documents from Truth Social?
It's like when they broke into Michael
Mar-a-Lago?
Cohen's office
Oh.
in Mar-a-Lago. It's a fishing expedition. They're trying to find something. So they're, you know what I mean? They're trying to find
He's
something.
working at Starbucks.
He's a barista. $16 an hour.
Oh,
So they
my.
pay that much at Starbucks?
I guess it depends on where you work.
Yeah, it says here, Will Wilkerson, age
Wow.
38, a former executive who was vice president of operations
He can't get a better job than that.
for the Trump Media and Technology Group, overseeing the development of True Social, is now working as a barista. Although I think when it's a guy, you're a barista, but
I guess you put Truth Social on your resume. You're probably job opportunities in this world are a little limited in the tech world.
He was fired 6 months ago by Trump after giving 150,000 internal documents,
wow.
contracts, and emails to the Securities and Exchange Commission and federal and state
Was he
investigators.
forced to give them, or he was a whistleblower? He did it willingly.
Wilkerson's high-paying job with Trump, together with stock options, had the potential to make him a millionaire, but he
an
decided
idiot.
to distance himself from the True Social platform after he became concerned that investors might be at risk of losing their investment. And True Social is doing very well right now.
Yeah, it is.
So he's another person who's turned on Trump and really is not doing too well.
I want to talk about this Steven Crowder thing. We really didn't talk about it. And I don't really watch him. I know you've watched him in the past.
Not really. I only watch when
Once
there's like
in
a
a while.
scandal.
Yeah,
I'll watch when there's a
I
scandal.
know who he is. But
I don't watch him just like if there's like like when he did that thing with the Daily Wire in January, I watched then.
Yeah. No, I know you
I'm
don't watch
watching
him
now.
regularly, but I never watch the guy. Once in a while with you. But anyway, he was having all these drama with Candace Owens and all this stuff, accusing her of endangering his family and all this crazy stuff. And apparently, this video came out of him last week of him berating his pregnant wife.
Yeah.
Well, when I first saw it, and I'm not defending him at all, I was like, wow, this guy's a real a-hole. And I felt
He's a
really
monster.
bad for his wife. But I did think at the time that she was setting him up in a way, because I thought, well, they're going through a divorce, and she knows they're being recorded, and she's got her shirt up like she wants like I thought maybe she's letting everybody know I'm pregnant. She wants everybody to see her belly. And I thought in a way, and she kind of looked at the camera a couple times and was saying, I love you, this and that. So I was kind of thinking in the way, even though he acted like a complete a-hole on the film, that she was setting him up a little bit. But I was wrong. That video is from 2 or 3 years ago. It's not a new video.
I think it might be from 21.
Yeah, so it's 2 years ago, and it's right before she left him because he said they've been separated 2 years.
I think that's why she left him.
That's why she left him. So I don't know how it got. Obviously, she leaked the video, but maybe not. Maybe somebody at Ring did it because they have a Ring camera, and I'm sure when you have those cameras, you don't have complete autonomy over the footage. You know, like when you have cameras around your house and you use a company, you probably, when you sign the contract for it, there's a little disclaimer that they own that footage too. So I don't know necessarily now if she released that, but she did not set him up. So I was wrong about that. And I didn't see the whole video at first. So I watched the whole video the other day. Oh my goodness. This guy makes Fred Flintstone look enlightened. I mean, he is so barbaric in the way he talks to his wife. I can't believe she stayed married to this guy for 18 years. That's what blows my mind. I mean, do you think he just changed?
A lot of people.
I think he's always been this way.
There's a lot of people.
She had children with this man.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have been defending Steven Crowder even after this tape.
They're crazy.
And they say, oh, well, spouses get it. Everyone that has worked with this guy is saying terrible things about him. And there's one guy in particular whose name I don't know because I don't follow the show, so I don't know the characters,
right?
You know, that work on his show. But there was one guy that I've seen. He was an older guy out of the crew, the oldest one, and he said he gave an interview on a podcast this last week. He said Crowder records conversations with everybody all the time on the phone, and he said he had a series of lights in the studio, and when the lights were on, he was not allowed to talk.
Yeah. This guy, what you call that is a personality disorder.
When people have disgruntled relationships, and with me, there may be one or two people that would say some stuff about me that I've worked with over the years. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, if anyone says anything to you other than that I'm nice, they're lying. There's a couple people that I've had run-ins at work with, over the 30 plus years I've been doing this. But
I'll say this.
You would be hard when you have someone like Crowder, Kathy, where everyone they work with is saying bad things, and some of them are saying, "Well, I got things to say, but I can't because I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement with Crowder." Crowder's done.
He's not just like this with his wife, is what you're saying. He's like this with everybody.
He's done. I don't know too much about him. I know he's Canadian and all this.
Canadians are supposed to be nice,
and I've heard. I don't know. Go talk to Justin Trudeau about that. Look what he did to the truckers. I don't know about that. But and Bill Murray's Canadian, and he's got a bad rep, But Candace Owens said that that Steven Crowder was a child actor. I think I heard her say. I don't know what he acted in or anything. And what I'm wondering is his whole thing that he does with his conservative thing is that an act? Is he an actor? Is this a way that he is found as an actor to try to make? I don't know, but I do know this. There were the thing with the wife, that was not a normal argument. She was like 8 months pregnant.
No.
And so that kind of argument, when you're arguing with your pregnant wife who's 8 months pregnant, that's abuse. And it's borderline. It's not physical violence, but it is abuse. And then he wanted her to handle with that medication that's dangerous for pregnant women for the dog. He said, "Well, put gloves on." And then when he was talking about her wifely duties, I don't care what anyone says, he was talking about sex, pleasuring him.
I agree with that. And when I saw the video, and I know people are defending him, and I read a lot of comments about people defending him. It's mostly men, of course, how married people fight and all. Yeah, all married people argue and fight. I've been married to Brian 27 years. We've had arguments, but Brian has never talked to me that way. I can promise you that, because if he did, he wouldn't be living here with me. And it's amazing to me that she put up, because this is not the first time he's talked to her this way. I can promise you that. This did not just come out of the blue. And it's amazing to me she stayed married to this guy and continued to have children with this guy. I'm not blaming her. I'm glad she finally got out of that situation. because the way he spoke to her, there is no excuse for that. I'm sorry. And the way he spoke to her was demeaning, condescending. It was sexist, abusive. I mean, and the fact that she's pregnant, and even when she started crying, he still laid into her. Mm-hmm. He didn't say, "I am so sorry," this and that. Like Brian and I have gotten arguments like all married people. And if either one of us feels, and it's mostly me, that we're taking it a little too far, I'll immediately be like, "I am so sorry. I just, got upset."
Yeah.
And I apologize always. You know what I mean? When you take it too far, if somebody starts crying in an argument.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it's like a pregnant woman, any decent guy would be like, "I am so sorry, honey. I'm just having a bad day. I'm really sorry." She starts crying and he's still hammering her and chases her into the house, practically screaming at her. This is a whole other level of a narcissistic personality type. And I don't know him or anything, but from what I've seen, he has like a personality disorder, and this guy is never going to change. And the fact that he is so controlling over his employees that are his so-called friends, and the way he is with his wife, I mean, his lawyer has got to be telling him to shut the hell up.
Oh, yeah.
He's just burying himself deeper and deeper into this hole. And I thought, this is how you know, because after this video came out, if he had any inkling of humility, which he obviously doesn't, in his body, he would have come out and said, "I screwed up. I'm sorry. I was in a very bad place at the time. I lost my cool, and I profusely apologize to my wife, to my kids, to you. It's not who I am." But no, he didn't do that at all. He just continues to blame her and everybody else for his problem. He is self-destructive, that guy. He is destroying his entire life.
Crowder,
it's coming crashing down, and it's all his fault.
Steven Crowder,
and he can't shut up,
is now in a position where he cannot recover. See, Candace Owens, listen, I have not forgotten what how President Trump was treated by Candace Owens a few months ago. So I'm not on any Candace Owens train, and the way she spoke about President Trump is unforgivable. However, when it comes to this Crowder stuff, Crowder made a big mistake when he recorded that conversation with that guy from the Daily Wire and then released it. That's a real scumbag move.
It is. But when somebody records him and releases it, he loses it.
So, we've got these two incidents with him that make him look really bad. He's burned bridges with all of his high-profile friends that have platforms and audiences and people to speak to. He will never recover from this. Now, he's not going off the air or anything, Do you
think his friends are going to stay with him, though?
No, he's already losing people.
If you were in his group, you'd be like, "I'm done with this guy."
He's losing people. And the thing about Steven Crowder, he will still have some type of presence somewhere because he's pretty big and well-known, but he's not going to recover from this.
I think he's a pariah
he's
now.
Gonna
I don't think anybody's going to go
so
near him.
much. No, that video was, and I think the wife had something to do with leaking it out after he threw her under the bus.
Probably. Oh yeah,
with his
that's
message
true. That did
earlier in the week. And people get nasty in divorces. There's no doubt about it. But that video made him look so bad. I
think him saying that he picked the wrong wife was really inspired her to do
and
that.
And Crowder had a response to it, which was not like, "Well, you know what? I'm embarrassed. I shouldn't have spoken to my pregnant wife that
humility.
way." Nothing. It was like he was the victim when that video came out.
That's what Candace Owens says, that he's always the victim.
That's right. Now,
he's always the good guy.
I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters for their support of the program. Thank you so much to all of you. You that are Patreon supporters make this show possible, and your help is greatly appreciated by Kathy and myself. And, of course, Patreon supporters, you have access to commercial-free editions of all of our podcast episodes. And our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out on each and every podcast episode. So the names you will hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Rome, Wisconsin, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, John, Arctic Fox, K-Mac, and Cindy. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you all. And If you would like to support the show by becoming a patron, there's a link in this and every episode description to our Patreon page. There's also a direct link to our Patreon page on my website, briancraigshow.com. And the direct website address is patreon.com/realbriancraigshow. Patreon.com/realbriancraigshow. We'll be right back. Are you tired of wearing the same old boring clothes day in and day out? Then it's time to upgrade your wardrobe with Living in Sin Clothing. Online at livinginsinclothing.com. The online clothing store that brings you the latest in fashion trends. The collection at livinginsinclothing.com is designed right here in Orlando, Florida, and they offer the best in tattoo and urban-inspired clothing that includes the hottest styles that will make you stand out from the crowd. They have a wide variety of clothing for both men and women. Go right now to livinginsinclothing.com and start browsing through their collection. You will be impressed. Not only will you find great items for yourself, but incredible gifts too. Don't settle for mediocrity. Upgrade your wardrobe with Living in Sin Clothing. Not just fashion, but design. Online at livinginsinclothing.com. Are you a coffee lover, pet parent, or pet lover with a passion for travel and adventure? If so, the trendy apparel from Coffee Lover Styles Etsy store are perfect for you and others. Their soft and comfortable shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts are made from 100% cotton and feature stylish designs featuring coffee, pets, adventure, and other graphics. Perfect for him, her, teachers, nurses, baristas, moms, dads, boyfriends, and girlfriends. The classic apparel we all love is sure to keep you feeling cool and looking stylish. With their classic fit, their versatile shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts are great for the office, school, shopping, or a casual night out. Whether you're a caffeine lover, pet parent, pet lover, or adventurer, this awesome apparel from Coffee Lover Styles will help you show off your style while you pursue your passions. Don't wait. Get yours now from Coffee Lover Styles, because coffee is a lifestyle. Online at coffeeloverstyles.etsy.com. Welcome to the future of artificial intelligence at your fingertips. Introducing AI Scout. AI Scout is your free comprehensive online directory of AI-powered tools and applications. AI Scout is dedicated to helping professionals and everyday users alike unlock the potential of AI. The AI Scout platform offers a wide range of resources spanning every industry imaginable, from marketing and sales to art generation, video generation, and more. And it's all available in a user-friendly, ad-free environment. Whether you're an expert seeking digital transformation or a curious individual exploring the world of AI, AI Scout is your perfect starting point. AI Scout simplifies the process of discovering and accessing cutting-edge AI solutions, ensuring that you find the tools that streamline workflows and spark creativity in both personal and your professional life. With a commitment to staying up to date with the latest AI advancements, AI Scout collaborates with industry leaders and innovators to provide a valuable resource for the growing AI community. Don't miss out on the AI revolution. Visit AIScout.net and embark on your AI journey with the ultimate online directory. Discover the power of artificial intelligence at AI Scout. Visit AIScout.net now and unleash your potential. Are you struggling to connect with your teen? Are you worried about the troubles your teen is facing in today's world? Don't miss out on the ultimate guide to faith-led parenting with the book from Script Seeds, Parenting Teens Through Faith, available on Amazon. Parenting Teens Through Faith is your essential handbook to raising confident, resilient, and empowered teenagers. This book provides practical advice for providing a strong, faith-based foundation for building character, virtues, and resilience in your teen. You'll also discover essential biblical principles for providing hope and confidence, no matter your faith background. Start building a stronger, more resilient family with Parenting Teens Through Faith, available in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover editions on Amazon. This book is perfect for church groups. Order your copy right now.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. So on Saturday, I did a live stream from the Fort Lauderdale beach, and I know a lot of you were there, but if you weren't, go and watch it. It was, I took our daughter to the airport. She flew back to California Saturday morning, so I went from the airport to the beach, And I did a live stream on the ocean, which was really nice. And Fort Lauderdale Beach is my favorite beach in all of Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is where I grew up. It's where my mother lives. Kathy and I both grew up on that Fort Lauderdale beach. My high school is just like 2 miles away from that beach. And when we go on our listener cruises and we leave out of the port in Fort Lauderdale, we go out, you could see that beach. And we have a sail away party. And I always tell people that my high school was right down that beach. And they let us leave school for lunch in high school.
Yeah, my high school too.
And we would go to the beach. And a lot of times we never came back because, I mean, look, you're in paradise. But anyway, I was live streaming. And when I was live streaming in the beginning, I was right on the ocean. I had my MAGA hat on and everything. But it was early in the morning and I'm out by the water. And it was just a beautiful sight. We had a discussion. We were talking about all kinds of things with MAGA and DeSantis and Trump and everything. And then I decided to take a walk along the beach. And some of the reactions I got were not nice from people. I was getting some people were looking at me and like this one woman came. You could see all this on the live stream because I was walking down the sidewalk and you could see the people walking by me and walking towards me as I was walking along the beach. And one woman, the first person I got a reaction from was this woman, and she looked at me and she kind of just like snarled at me, like, and it was just ridiculous. And I didn't say, and people say, well, why aren't you saying anything to these people? Well, the reason is because that area is a tourist part of town. That's a tourist spot. We locals don't really go there that much, especially that time of the day. You know, if you live in Florida, you don't go to the beach as much as the tourist. And that is the tourist beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach, that area. And it's tourist portion for a reason. It's a great beach.
I think it's like that everywhere because when I lived in Italy, I met people that were Italian that lived there, and they lived in Florence their whole life, and they had never gone to see the David statue.
New Yorkers don't go to the Statue of Liberty.
This one guy I met, he's like, "What's the big deal with Michelangelo?" I'm like, "You're joking, right?" Yeah. They don't get it.
So these people that were giving me looks and being rude and everything, because I'm in a tourist area, I'm not going to engage any of them because they're probably a tourist, and if I get nasty, they may never come back to Florida. And I love Florida. I want people to come here. It helps the economy. But there was one guy in particular who's gay. And if you ask how I know, well, when you watch him on the video, you'll know how I know. He's walking toward, and I'm just walking down the sidewalk. You can see this on my YouTube video. He gives me the middle finger, but he's so cowardly. He pretends to be scratching his forehead and his face, and he doesn't
middle finger,
and he doesn't get a reaction from. You see this in the video; it's amazing. He doesn't get a reaction to me because I'm Joe Cool. I'm not. I will not be triggered by these liberals. Okay, what they try to do is trigger you to get a reaction,
right,
and then blame you for getting crazy. So he's scratching himself on the face and his eye with his middle finger, giving me the middle finger because of my MAGA hat. He's not getting a reaction out of me. So then he starts doing it like more and fast, and he's like getting excited with the middle finger, and he walks by me. You can see this in the video. And, you know, when I'm talking about the tourist, this guy is insane. Here we are in a tour. This is how liberals think, right? I am in the tourist part of town. 90% of the people there are tourists. Of the other 10%, 8% of them work there, right? There's only 2% locals there probably and for all he knows, I'm from Michigan on vacation and this guy's giving me the middle finger.
He doesn't care because you're wearing a MAGA hat.
That's right.
He doesn't want you here.
They don't want MAGA people in their part of town.
No. And you grew up there and he's probably just moved there.
Exactly. That's my town. But here's the thing.
He's the carpetbagger.
To these liberals, okay? They give me the middle finger and the snarls. Florida is MAGA country, okay? Florida is MAGA country. Yeah. Now, this is a very conservative state, but it's not all conservative. And Fort Lauderdale, where I was at, is one of the most liberal towns in the state. The mayor is a gay activist and everything, you know what I mean? And so it's a very liberal town. But when these leftists do things like that, give you the middle finger or something, don't let them trigger you. No. Don't react. That's what they're trying to do. And then next thing you know, all their friends are saying, look, you know what I mean? So you don't let them trigger you. Okay, so I want to read this article. There's an article in the Gateway Pundit about the Newsmax offer to Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
And actually, this story originated in TMZ. So since it came from TMZ,
right.
It's real. TMZ is very credible.
Absolutely. No, I think it's credible.
TMZ reports this. Gateway Pundit linked up the TMZ story. Tucker Carlson, who was out at Fox News, and Newsmax, another conservative news outlet, wants him to be more than just the face of the network, Newsmax. And they're putting on a full court press to land him. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that Newsmax is doing everything it can to sweeten the deal for Tucker to come on board, including floating the idea of letting him program the whole channel, not just his own show. Yeah. They go on, they say that'd be a pretty enticing deal. Well,
absolutely.
Okay, here's the thing. Wait, Tucker does good stuff, but he's not MAGA. He has been critical of President Trump. I don't know if I want him in charge of all the programming of Newsmax. You know, Chris Ruddy's the founder of Newsmax. And Chris Ruddy became very well known in the early years of Clinton's first term. He was the one who broke all the stories on the Vince Foster suicide. He broke all the stories on the Arkansas state troopers who were on Clinton's detail. Clinton's black son, Danny Williams, from the prostitute in Little Rock. All that stuff came from Chris Ruddy. I love Newsmax, and I like Tucker. But I don't want to turn all of their programming over to Tucker Carlson. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't mind him.
I think they're going to offer him whatever the hell he wants, and I think they'll give it to him. I think they're desperate to get him on, and I think it's a good thing.
Would you want him in charge of all the programming?
As long as he keeps Rob Schmidt and Greg Kelly, I don't care what the hell
that would be good.
But he might be able to bring in some people that, like they have Megyn Kelly on all the time as a guest, Trish Regan as a guest. I would love to see them on the network. And I think if Tucker's there, they'll bring in a hell of a lot more money and they'll be able to upgrade everything. This is an opportunity for them. And it's an opportunity that does not come along very often. Okay. And I think they should offer him whatever the hell he wants, the keys to the kingdom. And I don't care if personally he doesn't like Trump. That doesn't matter to me. I mean, what matters is the truth that he gets out there and the message he gets out there. And, people get hung up on his text messages. How many times have you texted something in the heat of the moment that the next day you wish you could take back?
Not me. You know me with putting things in writing.
Yeah, or you wish, or you feel totally differently. In the moment, you might be like, I really hate this person. But then the week later, you're having golf with them or lunch and you're like, we're best buds. So I wouldn't put too much stock in that and things he's texted in the heat of the moment. Actions speak louder than words. And the way he is on his show and the things he exposes are vital and very important, and we need his voice.
Absolutely. I agree with all that.
If they can hand over whatever the hell they want, I think he'd do a good job at it. And I think it's a very tempting offer for him. How many chances do you get to program an entire network and basically tailor it to your liking? Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's going to be against Trump. I think Tucker understands that that's where his bread and butter is. He's not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. He's not stupid like these other people. And they had somebody, I read an article, who used to work at Fox. I can't remember who it was, a producer or something. And they said in the article, 99% of the people at Fox hate Trump. Only 1% like him. And they said you'd be very surprised. They're all the people in the media are a bunch of liberal jerks.
That's true. And how many people used to work at CNN there? Like Bill Hemmer used to be at CNN, right?
They just know that being pro-Trump is good for their the channel.
And here's the thing.
That's okay as long as they get the message out.
Here's the thing about everybody at Fox. They're all glad Tucker's gone.
Yeah.
Because not only does it open up a time slot, a lot of them see, okay, we all get to move up one step in rank in our time slot or position here.
I don't know. Their views are way down now that he's gone. Maybe they're not happy about it.
They still think people are going to come back. Now, there's one thing I wanted to mention about that, though, that I meant to mention in the first segment and I forgot. About Murdoch and what he's doing. Okay, there's two things in play with Murdoch. One we've talked about, and everyone talked about this, right?
Yeah,
that they think people are going to come back, right?
Oh yeah,
which they're not.
Like DeSantis, who thinks he's going to go up in the polls when he announces he's running.
That's right. Here's the deal. But here's the other thing there's another possibility where Rupert Murdoch does not care if we come back. And this is what I mean. Rupert Murdoch has an international business that has many different interests, of which Fox News Channel is only one. And he may, it may help him and other businesses of his to have us not watch their network and have their network go liberal. So they may not even want us back.
Do you think he's going to sell the network?
People keep saying that. No. Yeah. He wouldn't devalue it and then sell it. He would sell it while it was at a high value. You know what I mean? And let the next crew fire Tucker. He wouldn't reduce the value of his property and then try to sell it. So President Trump has a new ad that he just dropped on True Social today. Okay. And I wanted to play it for you. I've not heard it yet. Okay. But we're going to play it.
And I got something else to play to when you're done.
Okay. Well, let's play first the Trump ad.
Make an entrance. Make a run, and then make history. Make a difference. Make good on your word. Make it big league. But most of all, make it great again. Trump.
Yeah, now that ad, when the visual on that ad is all still pictures of Trump at Trump rallies and things. It's really a powerful ad. It really is an amazing ad. Now, Trump also posted on True Social. He says, this was just half an hour ago, 29 minutes ago. We'll be leaving for Scotland and Ireland soon in order to see and inspect my great properties there. And then he talks about the courses, The media will take that and they'll say, oh, he's off back in the real estate business with the golf courses. He must be really nervous about DeSantis. He's going to be dropping out. Watch, that's how they'll try to spin that. He still has a business to run.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
give me a break.
DeSantis
just was in Asia.
Doing nothing.
Exactly.
Doing nothing. Okay, so Marjorie Taylor Greene, the most powerful woman in Washington, President Trump's direct representative in the House of Representatives who keeps McCarthy under control, she was speaking to a group over the weekend. Listen to this. Oh, hold on. We'll get it to play, don't worry. Don't you love when you do things live? This is just wonderful. This happens all the time.
So I want you to really think about that. Hunter Biden is the biggest piece of white trash in America. He is.
Yeah, okay. That's what I love about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
She's not wrong.
She says it like it is.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't hold back. She's right on the money. I'm not going to play the audio of this because it goes on for a while, but you sent me this article, Kathy. It was Chuck Todd today.
Yeah.
Chuck Todd's on Meet the Press. They're going through all these lawsuits and legal challenges and the arrest of Trump. And Chuck Todd, it's a very long-winded, not sound-biteable discussion. That's why I'm not playing it. But Chuck Todd and the NBC Meet the Press crew are so demoralized that no matter what legal challenges they bring up against Trump, it becomes more popular.
They're baffled.
And they thought that this arrest in New York was going to be the end of it. Yep. And what he says is basically what they said earlier. I was reading from the Lincoln Project, Rick Wilson, that, these people, they just think it's a conspiracy against him. It is a conspiracy against him.
Right.
We think it because it's true.
Exactly. They believe that, and this is what's amazing to me. They know that all the Russia stuff was fake. They know that all these things are fake, yet they still delude themselves into believing that this is real. They live in an alternate reality because their hatred of Trump, it just masks the reality
Absolutely.
for them. They can't handle it. But I don't know how not one of them can say, you know what, maybe people are out to get him. I mean, they make stuff up.
Yeah.
We know they make stuff up. And now, it was proven that people in the government worked actively to hide the Hunter Biden laptop scandal to help Biden. How can you not think there's not a conspiracy working against Trump?
Exactly.
They see this is happening. They see the evidence. They know it's true, but they still convince themselves that we're the ones who are deluded.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me. They're baffled. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. They have turned Trump into a folk hero. He's like Davy Crockett, okay? And the more they go after him, And the more that we know is that they're after him, and none of this stuff is true. That's why he is popular. It's not because we think it's a conspiracy. We know it's a conspiracy, and they know it too, but they refuse to acknowledge that.
Exactly.
They refuse to say, you're right, because their hatred of him, like I said, is surpassing this, and they just won't let themselves see the truth. Even though it's right there in front of them, they acknowledge it. They refuse to let it register into their small minds.
Yeah, that's right. Now, yesterday, after I ended the live stream on the beach that a lot of you were watching, I went and bought a new MAGA scooter. I got the MAGA Scooter 2.0. In fact, in the garage, we now have two scooters. We have the MAGA Scooter 2.0 nice. And the original MAGA scooter. But I'm gonna sell the original MAGA scooter. And the reason I got a new scooter is I upgraded and got something that's a little more powerful and better for distances and a larger scooter too than the original MAG. I'd never had a scooter before. I'd rented one in Mexico and had a terrible experience with my daughter on one of our cruises. We just had a bad experience renting scooters in Mexico, which I will never do again.
Mexican scooters.
Yeah, and they. Oh my goodness, it was just a crazy
Emily
experience.
Almost broke her arm.
It was a crazy experience. But anyway, the scooter I have, the original MAGA scooters, it's very nice. Kathy got it for me for Christmas before last, and but it's kind of like a starter scooter to see if I would actually use it and ride it.
Well, I was going to get you a nicer one. Because you wanted
the one
a
you got's
scooter.
very nice.
It's nice, but it was also our 25th wedding anniversary.
That's
so
true.
Brian and I splurged a little bit. Brian got me something really nice.
Don't tell people what I got
something.
you.
Why?
I don't want people to know.
Okay, and I got him something. Well, you can talk about the
private.
scooter.
What I got you, I want to keep private.
Okay, anyway,
but it was
nice.
Yeah.
And I was going to buy a more expensive one, but I thought to myself, not that this one wasn't. It was nice, but I thought to myself, you know what? He might not even like having a scooter. So because you talked about it for a long time, and I thought, let me get one that's a little less expensive that you can try out. And then if you like it down the road, we'll get you something nicer that's longer lasting. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how that germinated there.
Well, so I use it a lot, obviously, you guys. I really love the scooter.
I mean, you ride it all the time.
So I went and got the MAGA Scooter 2.0, which I will unveil on a vlog in the next weekend or the weekend after. I'll write up to Mar-a-Lago on it.
That's a great idea. It's really nice.
With the MAGA Scooter 2.0, and it is really, really nice. I got to tell you guys, it's a really nice. It's a major upgrade. The first one's very nice, but a couple things I just want to talk about. First off, when I went to the dealership where I bought the MAGA Scooter 2.0, I was talking to the guy there, and we were outside of the place talking. And a mailman walked up, and he was just acting very strange. Okay, it was like it was just a split second. I'm like, "What's going on here?" He was like looking at me kind of weird, and I wasn't exactly sure why. And I didn't have the MAGA hat on because I was going in to negotiate a deal, and I didn't want to go in with the MAGA hat on negotiating a deal.
In case.
You never know. I was in Fort Lauderdale, which is where all these liberals are, So, and it turned out that this guy, he was a black mailman. He still is a black mailman. This was just yesterday. He's a listener to the show. So he was,
he recognized you.
So which kind of, he recognized me from the radio and from YouTube and everything.
See, because of YouTube now, Brian gets recognized all the time in town. Before YouTube, people would have to hear your voice. We've been in stores where you would be talking to me and people would recognize your voice. Yeah. But now they recognize your face because they see you on YouTube all the time.
Yeah. And so then he told the guy I was working the deal with, he's like, well, who are you? He didn't know who it was. And then the guy started telling him and everything else. Then the guy was looking me up on his phone and everything and got me, actually helped me get a better deal on the MAGA Scooter 2.0 in the end of it. So it was kind of nice. But to meet this is how bad things are going for the Democrats, right? This guy's big time. Oh, by the way, the guy that sold me the MAGA Scooter 2.0 is MAGA, and not only that,
always helps.
You get this is why I'm telling this story. This mailman. This is how bad it is for the Democrats.
Yeah,
you got a black civil servant who's MAGA,
right?
A black civil servant.
Yeah, that's why they're freaking out.
That used to be like a given that they're Democrats. And I mean, how many black mailmen have you met that are MAGA?
That's why they're creating a whole new a whole new voting class with these trans kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
I'm going to talk about this experience on the radio tomorrow, guys. So those you listen,
might get him to call in.
I'm not going to give out his name unless he calls in because I don't want to get him in trouble with his other, his postal union steward,
right, exactly.
and all that stuff. And there, but if he calls in, he calls in. But you'll hear me talk about it in some more detail on the radio tomorrow. But to meet a black civil servant who's MAGA, that's got to scare the daylights out of the Democrat Party. Because there was a person like that a few years ago before Trump came down the escalator, they would just be a lifelong Democrat. It would never be questioned.
They're terrified of Trump.
Yeah.
And they have lost so many black voters, and not only black voters, Hispanic voters.
Well, this guy's a federal government worker.
Exactly. Hispanic voters, Asian, all these minority groups that they used to depend on and count on, like it was a given, like you said, would vote for them. Trump woke them up, and they've realized they were getting a raw deal and that their Democrats are radicalized. And so I believe that's why they've created this whole trans movement with these young kids, because I believe they're trying to create a whole new voting bloc.
And this is also the replacement theory that Tucker talks about. Because, I mean, this guy's like their worst nightmare. Federal government worker and black. Those are two things that are not supposed to be MAGA, but they are. Now, just one last thing that I want to ask you guys about to get some advice. And you can leave me advice on this in the comments if you would like, okay? So I'm going to sell the original MAGA scooter to help pay for the MAGA scooter 2.0. And I have done private sales of vehicles many times in my life, but not for about 20 years. Because, that's something you kind of do when you're young. You buy and sell, cheap vehicles. The last time I did this is when we were first married, we had a car that I sold private, and I just put an ad. I might have even put an ad in the newspaper then. It was so long ago. I don't remember where I put the ad, and people came. We lived in a condo then, and it was before we lived in this house, and people came to the condo and looked at it, and I sold it to somebody, and I signed everything, and it was no problem. But now, I'm going to sell the MAGA Scooter 2.0. Doing a private sale of a vehicle is not what it used to be, and I have been doing a little bit of research on this and have heard nothing but terrible things from people. And there was one article in the local news here in our community a couple years ago was someone selling a scooter of all things. And they didn't want to meet people at their house because they didn't feel it was safe. So
I don't want you to do that either.
So they met them at the mall and they let someone test drive it and they never came back. So I'm not so sure what the process should be with selling the MAGA scooter. The thing about it is I've gone to some experts online on YouTube who have talked about private sales, and they have nothing but nightmare stories. And so I'm not really sure how is a safe way to go about it. With the online ads, they were talking about selling motorcycles, cars, and scooters. They said 90% of the people are scammers trying to scam you. Now, they didn't say how they were trying to scam them. I don't know. Yeah. I'm certainly not going to have people come to the house. What I was thinking about doing was having someone meet me at the local tag agency, having people meet me there. There's one by our house, not too far from our house, and I would just ride the MAGA scooter there. And then if they buy it, have the tag agency people handle the title transfer and everything right there so I know it's done, I'm paid and everything else. But I'm just not so sure if in this day and age, this is a smart thing to do and a safe thing to do. Another question about it is, I'm not crazy about people test driving the MAGA scooter.
Right.
Because if they damage it, if they fall on it or damage it, they're certainly not going to buy it, and then I'm done. And I have insurance, but come on, it's not a Rolls Royce. What's the insurance? It costs me more to use the insurance than to fix it myself. They may make it just inoperable, where it's not even available to be sold.
I think you're worrying way too much about this.
No,
I've got all these what ifs. Well,
I want to ask people's advice because I know we've got a lot of people in the audience that have done private sales of vehicles. Yeah. And I'm particularly talking about the MAGA scooter, and I'm going to sell it this week. I want to put it up for sale early this week and get it out of the garage. Okay, I don't have room for 2 scooters in the garage.
Well, I had an idea, but I'm not going to do mine.
Well, so what I want to know is, should I let people test drive it? If not, how do I explain it to them that they can't test drive it? And 3, do you think meeting at the tag agency is a good thing? I know some people say meet at the police station. The police station can't do the title transfer paperwork for me, so I like the tag agency because in Florida, there's 2 steps. You can't just sign the title over. You have to send another document to the state of Florida that the title's been transferred on top of just signing the title over. So I want to make sure everything's done and filed with the tag agency. So give me your advice on what process in particular should I let them test drive it? And if I say no, what is my excuse for them not test driving? What was your idea? Then we got to go because we're going long on this.
My idea, as I told you, there's a university not far from where we live where you went to college, and it's got like 20,000 students there. And I thought you should put up an advertisement on the bulletin board with a picture, and if somebody calls you that's interested, you drive it to the university.
Yeah.
And meet them there, and then if they buy it, you just take an Uber home.
Yeah, but it's kind of a drive. Every time I get a call, I'm going to have to drive to the college. It's kind of far.
Or you can meet them halfway.
It's kind of far. Well, I don't want to get robbed. So I don't want to meet somebody in some random location and get robbed.
Meet them like at a busy location.
I'm going to that's not a bad idea, but the college is kind of far. I don't want to have to drive there every time.
It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but every time I get a call, I'm going to drive there. I think meeting people to tag it. Well, you listen, guys. Let us know in the comments how you think I should do this. And I don't want people to test drive it because they'll wreck it.
Well, then
if they don't steal it, or they can steal it.
They're going to want to drive it before they buy it.
Well, see, in a car. Okay, when I've sold cars in the past and they do the test drive, you're with them. You're in the car,
right?
So they can't. If they steal it, they're kidnapping you. With the scooter, they're down the street. That's it. You know what I mean?
You could ride on the back of the scooter.
I don't think that's going to fly.
If you trust them, I mean, you can't fit 2 people.
I don't think so. So anyway, guys, let us know in the comments any suggestions you have on
Brian
selling the MAGA scooter.
He has been worrying about this for the last 2 weeks.
But selling
how to sell this thing. I mean, it's like becoming an obsession with him. Yeah. So if you can give he doesn't like my advice. If you can give any advice that he can use, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated by me in particular, because I'm tired of hearing about it.
We have a family member who has no job and no car. And we did offer to give the MAGA scooter to our one family member with no job and no car. And not only did they turn it down, they laughed. I'm not going to ride a scooter, man. They have no job, no car.
In my face.
And they wouldn't take the MAGA scooter for free.
I said, fine, take the bus. Screw you.
Exactly.
Idiot.
Exactly. I'm offering them for free a piece of broadcast history, the MAGA scooter.
It's a nice scooter. And I said, we'll give it to you. You just got to pay the insurance, which is $30 a month. It's nothing.
It's nothing.
Literally laughed in my face and said, I'm not going to ride.
Keep in mind, they have no job and no car, and they walk everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And take the bus. Exactly.
But
and they wouldn't take the MAGA scooter. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Give me your advice in the comments. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll talk to you next time.
Are you tired of sifting through biased news stories? Are you looking for a news source free from personal opinions and obvious political bias? Look no further than NewsGPT.ai. NewsGPT.ai is the world's first news channel generated entirely by artificial intelligence. That's right, no reporters and no bias. The sole focus of NewsGPT.ai is to provide you with accurate and reliable news for free. Unlike other news sites, the stories on NewsGPT.ai are not influenced by advertisers, political affiliations, or personal opinions. Everything you see is generated by AI, ensuring that all stories are fact-based and unbiased. NewsGPT.ai is committed to delivering the news you need to know in a way that's easy to understand and free from any agenda. Stay informed with the top AI-generated stories delivered directly to your inbox. NewsGPT.ai. Real news by fake people. Are you a truck or car enthusiast looking to upgrade your ride? Look no further than GroundZeroCustoms.com. GroundZeroCustoms.com is an online store specializing in aftermarket performance and appearance upgrades. They have a vast inventory of high-quality parts and accessories, and they have everything you need to take your vehicle to the next level. GroundZeroCustoms.com offer the best brands in the business, including Baja Designs, Mickey Thompson Tires, 4Play, and that's just the beginning. Whether you're looking for lighting upgrades or suspension modifications, they have you covered. Plus, GroundZeroCustoms.com understand that each vehicle is unique, which is why they offer a wide range of specialized parts and accessories. Upgrade your ride and make it truly your own. Go to GroundZeroCustoms.com and discover the possibilities. You will find an unbeatable selection and everything you need to take your vehicle to the next level. Start shopping right now at GroundZeroCustoms.com.